Hi, right, today I'm off to a company in a place called Redditch, which is on the south side of Birmingham, and funnily enough it's not very far from where I was born and where I grew up. So yeah, Ted and I are in the car and we're driving to this place in Redditch, basically because this company makes lithium batteries for motorhomes and things like that. So I'm going along there to see what they've got available. I'm looking at buying a motorhome battery. So the idea is that hopefully they'll allow me to do me a little bit of filming, and I'll talk you through how the day goes. Now, my plan is I don't really want to go to all the effort of changing my charging system, my solar, my mains, my split charger and all that kind of thing, if I can get away with not doing it. So speaking to this company, they've asked me certain questions about what type of charging system I've got, and they're happy that potentially this battery could be a straight swap. So if that's the case, that would be brilliant. So I'll literally be able to take out my 12-volt leisure battery and swap it straight with one of these lithium batteries, which will be brilliant. So that's the main reason for talking to this company, and hopefully, you never know, I'll be driving home with a new battery for the van.
1 hour later.
Hi, right, I've arrived. I'm here in Redditch, and the place that I'm visiting is a company called Fogstar, who you may have heard about. So I'm here with Bex. Bex is the marketing manager, and we're going to have a bit of a chat so that I can understand, number one, what is this all about, and number two, how easy is it for me to swap my sealed lead acid battery for one of these lithium batteries. So first of all, Bex,
yeah,
who's Fogstar? And also I've got to ask, what's the drift? Fogstar drift, what's all that?
Okay, so originally we started out just as Fogstar, and we've just been Fogstar since 2016. So we've been around for quite a long time really in lithium. And we started off just producing the 18650 cells, so the smaller lithium ion cells. And then in 2021 we started importing the LiFePO 4 cells. And then we had an awful lot of requests from people to start building our own batteries, our own LiFePO 4 batteries, and that's where the drift came in. So we started manufacturing the Fogstar drift range, and that was something that we created ourselves right here in Redditch to create the range of drift batteries that are now very incredibly popular really across the UK.
Let me just try and understand, Bex, what's the big thing about this kind of technology, and why is it important to van lifers and people with motorhomes?
A lot of people will have AGMs and lead acids fitted to vans, kind of from factory, for example. So one of the big things is depth of discharge is probably the biggest factor there. So if you had 100 amp hours of lead acid fitted to your van, for example, then you'd only have 50 amp hours of actual usable capacity before you needed to recharge that battery. If you had the equivalent in lithium, then you'd have 100 amp hours of actual usable capacity. So you'd see a core difference there, that you'd be able to use all of it before you needed to recharge. Another thing is payload and weights. Essentially, for the equivalent lead acid weight, you'd get double the amount of capacity in lithium equivalent. So lead acid's incredibly heavy, really.
So where's the downside?
The downside, I think for a lot of people, it's been very cost prohibitive up until recently. A lot of people have seen the cost of lithium as a bit of a barrier, really. One of the core things that we wanted to do as Fogstar when we created the drift range was make it accessible to everyone. We wanted to really bring the cost of lithium down and make it accessible to everybody within the market, and you'll see the cost is coming down, and hopefully through our Fogstar drift range, we've managed to do that, and we are managing to make it accessible to everybody.
And I guess cost is important, but also cost of ownership is also really important. So I think, and I don't know, so don't quote me on this, but I think that manufacturers of sealed lead acid batteries and AGMs, they talk about 3 and 5 year guarantees. Whereas I think from looking at your website, you talk about a lot longer guarantee.
Yeah.
So therefore, and how long is that guarantee?
So with our Fogstar drift batteries, we offer a 10-year warranty on those batteries.
Right. So realistically, taking into account that your batteries, let's say, are more expensive than a sealed lead acid, but they're guaranteed for, let's say, twice or even 3 times the length of that, all of a sudden has a big impact, I guess. But there's one question that I've got to ask. Is it safe?
With the lithium iron phosphate, it is a different chemical makeup to what you'd see in, say, EVs. So you won't see anything burst into flames. It's a totally different type of chemistry.
Great, well that's reassuring.
We get asked that an awful lot.
So what about, I've heard that there's something to do with temperature. You can't charge them in the cold or something like that?
Yeah, so with our Fogstar drift range and our drift pro ranges, we actually put heat pads into the batteries, and this kind of mitigates any risk of charging below in kind of 0 temperatures, but it will operate down to -20 with those heat pads. So,
oh really?
I mean, it's only when it's charging that it is hypersensitive.
Right.
You can safely discharge down to -20, but it's just the charging aspect of it that is affected by it. Yeah.
So I guess the question that everybody wants answered is, how easy is it to swap out what they've got today, which could be a sealed lead acid or AGM? Yeah. How easy is it to swap that out with one of yours?
Okay, so it all depends on your setup, your current setup. And you'll probably, that everybody be going, oh no, I didn't want that answer. But it is all dependent on your setup, and it's about ensuring that it's safe. So, I mean, here we're very fortunate. We've got an excellent customer service team, so we're always on hand to answer questions for people, and the team are very good at answering the questions for everybody. People can ring up or they can email in, and we'll always answer any inquiries about that. But ultimately, one of the core considerations is age of the motorhome or camper van or caravan. So age plays a huge factor in that, really. Some of the newer variations will contain a smart alternator, in which case they will need a B2B or DC-DC charger, because they are a lot more sensitive in regards to those charge. The lithium's a lot more sensitive in regards to the charging voltages. So you would need an additional charger for it to cope with lithium. A lot of people will find they've already got the correct chargers in place and they just don't know it. Lithium needs a nice 14.2 volt charging rate, and a lot of chargers can already cope with that. And as long as your charger can cope with that, then in most instances it's fine to swap it out.
Yeah, so let me just ask you a little bit about your after-sales support, because I'm really keen to understand, in terms of customers' experience, what can they expect from Fogstar Drift?
Okay, so we offer, obviously, 10-year warranty on the Fogstar Drift batteries and the Drift Pro batteries. So we, first of all, we've got a direct phone number, which a lot of competitors can't offer. So you can always ring up and speak to a member of the team. But we offer full kind of in-house testing and fixes, which an awful lot of other competitors on the market don't offer. So we'll work with the customer to identify faults and fix faults. So that's probably one of the major things, really. So that's this is the fixing area, yeah.
First of all, can you introduce me? How long has he been waiting?
Oh, that's from Halloween, yeah. Yeah.
So one of the things that surprised me when I arrived was to see that you actually do offer kind of like I don't know, what are you doing here? Repairs or?
Yeah, repairs, yeah.
See, I wasn't sure whether as a company you were just a distribution company that bought them in and rebadged them and sold them.
No.
But you clearly do understand what's going on inside there.
Oh yeah, we understand absolutely everything. These are our batteries. We created them, we design them, we manufacture them. We understand every element of these batteries. You know.
So, looking at the range, it would appear that a direct comparison to my battery that I've got on my van at the moment, which is this one, in terms of size, this is the closest match. Because unfortunately, where my battery lives, it's kind of tight and restricted. Now, interestingly, when you compare these two batteries, forget the physical size, but just look at the capacity. So this has got 92 amp hours, okay? This has got 105 amp hours. So instantly you would say they're the same. But as Bex has explained, with this technology, you can literally use 100% of that. With this technology, you can literally use 50% of that. The figures are approximate, so don't get too hung up on the figures. But one of the really, really big things, as Bex explained, in terms of weight, and I can't lift this with one hand, it's that heavy. I'm guessing 20-25 kilos, whereas this, I think, Bex, I think you said it was 10?
10 kg, yeah.
10. So this is under half the weight of that, and it's got more, around double the usable capacity of that one. So, God, it's a bit of a no-brainer, really, isn't it? What I'm going to do, I'm going to buy one of these, and I'm going to fit it in my van, which I'll do you a video showing that, and then I'm going to do you another video in 6 months' time or so, and actually give you kind of like a warts and all feeling of it. I'm really, really confident that it's all going to be positive because, yeah, I don't see a downside. Tell me a little bit about this BMS. I forgot to ask you about BMS.
Yeah.
So what does that do for me?
So a battery management system, so BMS stands for battery management system, and ultimately it's like the brains of your battery, what it does, it protects the battery overall, it protects the cells, and it looks after the charge and discharge of the battery, so it protects against kind of any over discharge, any under discharge, kind of any temperature protection, so it stops it from getting too hot or too cold. So it's got a whole load of protective features, and there's a really good blog on our website that I've written about all the different features, protective features of our BMS. And when we were designing the Drift, we went through a whole load of different BMS trying to pick the right one, and the JBD is actually kind of one of the very best that you can use within a battery management system, because when it comes to battery management systems, because it's just the range of features that it's got, just kind of second to none, really.
Brilliant. Now, another thing, I've just noticed there's a Bluetooth symbol on here. What's that all about?
So the Fogstar Drift range actually comes with an app that you can download onto your phone, and what that allows you to do is manage the state of charge on your battery, allows you to kind of just see what's going on, really, and that's just a nice little thing to have, you know. It can get a bit obsessive for a lot of people, you know, checking the state of charge and you know what's going on. But it's just a nice little add-on for a lot of people.
So you also do your own chargers?
We do quite a range of chargers now. Yeah.
So not that I've got one, but I don't think I need one, but if I was to take my battery and put it in my garage and try and charge it with my standard charger that I've got to charge my lead acid battery, would it work?
Potentially. It depends what voltage it goes up to.
Yeah, it'll do 14 point something volts. But even if it doesn't, it just won't charge fully, will it?
No.
Right.
No.
So it's not going to blow anything up?
No.
Right, okay. So here you go. I've just spent a little bit of money and Vic is taking the cash off me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Amex. So yeah, just to show, you don't get anything for nothing in this world. If it's worth buying, you got to buy it. So is that all gone through, Vic?
Yeah, lovely.
Excellent. Thank you very much. They did give me a bit of a discount, so right, okay, so I think we're just about done. I bought one of the little ones, the 105s, only because I'm a bit tight on space in the van, but I'll show you in the next video, which will maybe be after Christmas, fitting the battery into the van, and then we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, thanks very much to these two lovely ladies for sorting me out today and relieving me of some of my hard-earned pounds. But no, I'm really impressed and really pleased. Thank you very much for the experience.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Here we go. I've got to take the old battery back with me, unfortunately. There's yeah, can't dispose of that, but not to worry, I'll just throw that in a farmer's field and be done with it. So this is Spencer. Thank you very much for helping me, Spencer.
No,
I've got to say, this company is so helpful. So far the experience has just been amazing, and yeah, looking forward to getting this in the van and seeing how it works. And there we are, in the car, ready to go. Ted's in the car. There he is. Hello, Ted. What's this? Is this a new battery for the van to keep you warm? Yeah? Oh. Right, should we go home? Yeah? Should we go home? Come on then.